Tony versus Gaethje. What do we know? And when did we know it? Because this timeline is very fascinating. It truly is if you look at it. Look, Gaethje put himself in the batter's box 2 months ago. Gaethje predicted that this fight would fall apart. Gaethje, by his own admittance, said, look, man, this is going to be very hard to get down to weight for, and it's going to be very hard to train for a fight that I don't even know is going to happen. But I'm telling you right now, if anything happens to Tony or Khabib, I'm the guy. At some point in that, Poirier spoke up. And Poirier goes, not so fast. I'm the guy. But for whatever reason, that didn't gain a ton of steam. And Poirier didn't stay out there quite enough, and Gaethje did. So Poirier even steps in front of the whole thing and almost closed the book. Like, he had the ultimate argument, which he goes, hey, Justin, you know what? I'll fight you for it. We fought once before. It was a great fight. These two are going to fight in the main event. Why don't you and I just sign up now to be the co-main event? If anything happens, we'll figure it out from there. That was a great argument by Poirier that surprisingly, in hindsight, didn't really catch on. I was fully on Dustin's side of that. I'm going, yeah, there you go. You just figured it out. You guys fight in the co-main event. If something happens, same weight class, everybody's trained up, everybody's motivated, we know the location, boom. You guys figure it out with the politics, one of you slides into the finals. Didn't end up happening. So back up. Okay, we got to do this in order. Back up, because I'm going to ask you a fantastic question, okay? Class is in session right now. We're going to have a fantastic question at the end of this. Stay with me. So Dana comes out with an announcement. He announces that he's going to make an announcement. And he says within the announcement, I will tell you about 249. Khabib's out. Tell you right now he's out. Stick around for who's in versus Tony. And then there comes this dangling overlying question of where's it going to be. And some great minds report on this. I mean, all the way up to Ariel Helwani said, look, not only is there going to be a location, but this location, quotation marks, is then going to hold the next 4 events. And by the way, not only are we going to do 4 events there, they're even giving us the dates of the events. And then they're starting to say some of these fights that you thought were lost, we're going to bring them over here. So the announcement comes, and I'm very curious. I can't wait to hear this location, because here's the question that I'm going to ask you guys, and here's what was never answered within the announcement, which is the location. This has stayed a mystery. Now, this is storytelling at its finest, okay? I talked to you guys until I'm blue in the face that, yeah, we can put guys together that we think will be fun, and we can put guys together for something called a title, and we can put guys together that are close in the rankings. But all promotion is, at the end of the day, is storytelling. If you have a great fight, it means you had a great story. There's a reason they're throwing those punches and kicks. You care about the story or you don't. Great promotions, if you're heavily promoted, it means that you've got a story and you have a storyteller out there that's telling your story. That's what a promoter is. A promoter. Everything else you're seeing is business. All the lights and the camera, the billboards, the magazines, the video games, this is all, but promotion is simply telling a story. So, a great storyteller realizes you don't have any reason to come back if you have everything. He keeps you hanging. In this case, what's the hanging piece? This simply the most irrelevant part of the whole story, which somehow has overtaken the story. All we give a damn is who's fighting who and when. That's all we care about. If it comes to your city and you're able to go and buy a ticket, okay, great, you would be absent to the point that I'm trying to make. For everybody else, anywhere in the world, it doesn't make a bit of difference because you're watching it on ESPN anyway. Are your buddies coming to your house or are you going to a buddy's house? That's it. Who gives a damn where they set up the octagon? Well, somehow, this has overtaken it. And not only in your minds, I'm not talking down to you right now. I am sharing in this with you. I am equally as curious to the least interesting part of this whole story. Why would I possibly give a damn what building this was in? Why? What? I do. You want to know why I care? Because I don't know. And now I'm curious. So, Dana comes out with the announcement. He keeps this part secret. But here's where the fun comes in. Here's what the question that I'm going to ask you. Let's say you have one job. Okay? You get to work for the UFC. You get to work in MMA. You get to be a decision maker. You get to control destinies. Very powerful spot. You have one job. Where in the world, not is this going to be, that's not what I'm asking you. I'm not asking you where this is going to be. I'm not asking you for a prediction. It's in Vegas, it's in LA, it's in Jerusalem, it's in Chechnya, it's in Antarctica. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you an even easier question that is going to be very hard for you to answer. Here's the question. Where could this be? That's your one and only job. You don't have to figure out the logistics. You don't have to figure out how to get ESPN there. You don't have to figure out how to get the message to the fans. You don't have to write a single check. Your one and only job. And you get to be an executive, and you get to be a decision maker, and you get to matter. But you have to be able to answer, where could this fight be? There are answers to that question. There is some very logical answers. I mean, I could get into laws about sovereign territory for you, which is likely a very good place to look. I could get into arenas. I could get into what a venue is. Everybody thinks of a venue as an arena. There's actually a book out there that you can buy, that I did buy, if you want to be a promoter. The book is this thick and it will cost you $600 a year. Every single year it gets updated. All that you will get in that book, it's essentially a yellow pages, but of venues. So if you're a concert promoter, you're a fight, any kind of promoter, anywhere in the world, this book in alphabetical order, city by city, will tell you the venue. And all you will have is who owns the venue and what his contact information is. That's it. That's the only thing in this book, but every promoter has to buy this book, and every promoter has to then buy the book again the next year because it's updated. Fine. I will just share with you. Don't go buy the book, because you don't need an arena. You don't need a venue. You don't have to have in built-in seats and lights. You don't even have to have heat. If you got 4 walls and a roof, you could figure everything else out if you're not selling tickets. Ticketing laws can get very complex. I could bore you guys, but each state and jurisdiction can have within itself its own ticketing laws. I'll tell you right now in Oregon, if you sell a ticket to an event and that ticket doesn't exist, somebody goes to jail. We take ticketing laws very serious in Oregon. I trust that that's true in every state. I'm just sharing with you in Oregon. You tell someone there's an event, you take their money, you cancel the event, you don't alert them and give them their money back, somebody gets put in handcuffs. It's very serious. But the rules do start to change. Okay, the rules do start to change when you're not selling tickets. And the question of what is a venue can change greatly when there's not tickets involved. If you have 4 walls and a roof, okay, let's say you don't have bathrooms. Hard to do anything where you don't have a bathroom, right? Well, what's a construction site do before the bathroom's built? They bring them in. What's a construction site do when guys are out there working and everybody's cold, but there's no HVAC system brought in? They bring in heaters. What's a construction site do when they need electricity and there's no electricity because they haven't put it in yet? They bring in generators. The only reason I share this with you is if you try to go by the little $600 book that you've got to buy every single year and you look at what a venue is, in today's world, the definition of venue is greatly different. It changes the second tickets are not sold. It changes instantly when you're not worried about pouring drinks, popping popcorn, selling slices of pizza, having a merchandise booth. What would fit in the definition of a venue changes instantly when you remove the people. I'm telling you this because I still want you to answer my question. I don't want you to tell me Arco Arena. I don't want you to tell me Safeco. I don't want you to tell me M Life. I want to make your job as simple as I possibly can. Where in the world, you have the whole world, could this take place? Don't say my backyard. Tell me don't try to be a smartass with me here. Don't tell me, I'll host it in my garage. Don't tell me that. You have jurisdictions above you. You have states over you. All 50 states are saying right now, MMA is on a hold. So I want to ask you again, to allow you to be an executive, to allow you to be the smartest person in the room that has to do absolutely nothing, no logistics, you don't have to get anybody there. Just tell me, where could this be held?